everybody. I'm just going to, I thought I'd come on and show you how to make a really easy template and then a card using your Stamparatus so that you can make wreath cards or circle cards. So you can make any image into a circle. So if you just give me a minute, I'm going to get set up and then we'll get started. All right. Trying to see where we're going here. All right. So first of all, you need a Stamparatus, and for those of you who have purchased a Stamparatus and haven't really wanted to use it, this is a great opportunity to make use of the Stamparatus to make a template. So first of all, the template that you're going to need is you're going to cut a piece, and I just used some cardstock. So you're going to cut a piece of cardstock that is 7 inches by 7 inches, and you're going to divide it in half. And I just drew lines across dividing it in half. Okay, so then you're going to cut a piece, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. This is a piece of our window sheets, and again, this is cut 7 by 7. And the other piece that you're going to need is a square. And again, I just used some Whisper White cardstock. And this is cut 3.5 by 3.5. And I was going to write that on here. So this is 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And again, divided in half. And I just drew lines to do that. So now you don't have to put this in the Stamparatus to do it, but it just allows you to square it. So you're going to put your piece of 7 by 7 cardstock in there. Over top of it, you're going to lay your 7 by 7 inch piece of window sheet, and then lining up these lines, which is why you drew lines on these pieces of cardstock. You're going to line this up, and then you're going to take a permanent marker. So I just used a permanent marker, and you're going to draw around this square. So therefore you get this square. And then the second thing that you're going to do is you're going to turn it so that you now have a diamond, and each of those points are lined up on your lines. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to draw around it with your permanent marker. So what you end up with, and you don't need this 3.5 inch piece of paper at the end of it, what you're going to end up with is a template that looks like this. I tend to use it with a 7 inch by 7 inch piece of cardstock always, just because it shows up. If I didn't, I'm not sure how easy, if you didn't use it, yeah, it's hard to see. So I always tend to use these two pieces together. Okay, I have a blog post that I have the instructions for this again. So if it's, I probably went too fast, but I have the instructions, and at the end I'll add the blog post into the comments. Okay, so to make this card, you can make this out, this kind of card out of anything. Today I seem to be in a flirty flamingo and poppy parade kind of mood these days. I don't know why. Maybe I'm tired of the rain already, but anyway, so this card was made using flirty flamingo as the color for the flowers, and then I've just added in some granny apple green, and I'm going to show you how you make this card. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch. This time I'm using Whisper White cardstock, and I'm just going to take the magnet and just pop it in here. So you put your piece of cardstock, and to start with, you line it up in the square. Now I'm using, this card is made using the Boutique Blooms stamp set. I don't know if you're like me. I have to admit, I got a beautiful card at Onstage in a swap that was made using this stamp set. And I have to admit, I hadn't even noticed this stamp set in our catalog. It just goes to show you how many beautiful stamp sets there are to choose from. But anyway, so I got this card and went looking for the stamp set and thought, well, that's lovely. So this is the stamp set, and it comes with a number of flowers as well as this circle wreath that you could use as well. So I've chosen this plain plain flower, kind of daisy-like flower from the top. And I have taken it, and I'll take it off. So what you want to do is, you can't have too big of a flower, and I actually think this is probably the biggest thing that I would use. I've made another one that, of course, I didn't take a picture of before I sent it off, but it was I used the pine cone set for Christmas, and I did pine cones in early espresso and then added some fir boughs in between. So for this one, what I do is I just take it and roughly line it up, kind of in the middle of this line that goes across. And then put the platform down. Okay, so you can always reline up this paper. The one thing to remember is when you are using, take this off, when you are using a photopolymer stamp, you want to make sure that you use this foam cushion that comes with the Stamparatus to give it some cushion. Otherwise, it's not high enough, and you'll struggle a little bit. If you're using the Claremont or the new, cling stamps, you won't have to, because they've got that rubber backing that will give you enough cushion. Okay, again, I used Flirty Flamingo, so I'm just going to take you can see I've done some watercoloring. my stamp pad's a little bit of a mess. Okay, so you're just going to add some ink onto your stamp and bring it, and I just like to make sure I've covered it all off, and so I give it a good press down. Okay, so you've got that one. Now it doesn't matter which way you turn, you can turn this way or this way, but what you're going to do is you're going to turn one turn, so you go from a square to the diamond. And you'll quickly be able to figure out if you haven't done it correct and have turned too far, because you're going to get a space, which is okay. If you want to add, for example, 2 colors of flowers, which you could easily do, you would actually want to make the full turn. But so in this one, we're just going to keep going round. And again, so you just keep turning your 3.5-inch square of cardstock round, lining it up with the template underneath, and stamping. Okay, goes pretty quick once you get into the rhythm. And of course, the beautiful thing about the Stamparatus is if you don't get a perfect stamp, you can actually just push it back and stamp again. And in this case, I don't know what happened there, so I'm just going to add a little bit more ink and press down. My ink pad's quite juicy. Must have just re-inked it in a little bit, last little bit. Okay, carrying on. Hi, Alicia. Oh, and Patty. Hi, Patty. Thanks for dropping in and watching. Yeah, Alicia, I'm really tired of the rain. It was actually not raining here in Ladysmith. Oh, see, there I go again. In Ladysmith this morning, but when I got home, the rain was really coming down. So, I don't want a white Christmas, but I'd really like some sunshine. Okay, we're going to carry on. Stamping. You can see I like to press down just so that I get a nice image. Okay, and one more. Okay, So you get a little bit of splatter here. I think as I said, I think I re-inked my ink pad, and so I'm okay with this little bit of splatter. I'm going to just move my Stamparatus out of the way. So after I stamp that all the way around, and you can see it goes fairly quickly and is pretty easy once you get going, I'm taking some Granny Apple Green, and all I did here was just roughly go in the middle of each of the flowers just to add some leaves. I didn't bother. You could be really fussy with this, and you could mask this so you don't see the leaves in between the flowers, or you're not stamping over top, but I wasn't too worried about that when I did this. Cover up. I'm going to stamp pad both. You see my fingers are all, let's wipe my fingers so that they don't get that all over the card. Okay, so now I'm going to take and adhere this using some snail. This is Poppy Parade. This is a color that came back, and I was so excited because this was one of my favorite colors when it was available a few years ago and then was retired, and now has come back. So use my bone folder just to give me a nice crisp. Okay, that's going to go on there. And so if you can see this card, what I did was I took in Poppy Parade on a piece of cardstock that has gone missing here. All right. Well, we will use the piece I have here, a bigger piece, not a scrap piece. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp thanks in Poppy Parade. And then I'm going to take the duet banner, I think that's what this is called, and I'm going to punch out the thanks. And then I'm going to punch it out also in Poppy Parade. Okay, and then I took just a pair of scissors, cut this in half, and I'm going to, just put a little bit of snail down both ends, and this way I can give it some dimension by kind of putting some Poppy Parade out each end. There. Okay, going back to my card. Let's take some dimensionals and pop this up. Hi Elaine, thanks for dropping in. Hope everybody's mostly ready for Christmas. It sure is busy out there. Everybody seems to be last minute Christmas shopping. Okay, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this as well. And there. You could put some ribbon if you wanted to. What I did here is these are adhesive backed sequins, and these are from the new occasions catalog that comes out in January. So what I did on this card, I don't know if you can see that, this is just perfect. There's 3 little spots here that are just perfect for sequins. So I put some sequins on there. So I will do that. I'm probably not going to do the whole card because it just takes me a while to get all these sequins off of here. So I just, oopsie, that's stuck to my finger. I just took 3 sequins, put 3 sequins on each flower. So this is the final product. Oops. And I'm just going to quickly grab, sorry, I should have pulled this down to show you. So you can see here the sequins can go on each one, and there are different colors that come in this pack of sequins. some iridescent, some purple, some kind of iridescent pink, and then the clear ones, clear yellow ones, and then the green ones that I used, that I just put on this card that I am almost finished. So this is another sample of a card that I made using the Timeless Tidings stamp set that is in the holiday catalog. And on this one I used the poinsettia. I did it in the Memento ink and then colored it using the Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blends. And then put one of the little gold pearls, metallic pearls on. You could have done the Merry Christmas and embossed it in gold. That would have looked really pretty. Hi Linda, thanks for dropping in. So this is the card I made earlier before Christmas, and I really liked how this one turned out. And this is a card that kind of got me hooked and figured out how to create the template and how to make it work. So again, thanks for dropping by. What I will do, as I said, I will put the link to my blog where I've got the template instructions for making the template so that you can use it with your Stamparatus. And I challenge everybody to go out and make a card that uses this and does the wreath, because it's really simple but is such a really nice effect. Thanks for dropping by, and hopefully you'll check out my blog and my other cards that I post on a regular basis. Bye everybody.